following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing today? We have the best of the best with us. We have the ladies with us. We have triple threat, Miss Theresa Grayson, Gina Payne, and Jonesy. Jonesy. Okay, sounds good. We got it right there.
Yeah.
Sounds good. National recording artist. Each of you all play a different instrument. I love it. Miss Theresa is saxophonist, Gina, violinist, and Jonesy, right? Got
That's
it?
right.
Okay. Trombonist and congas.
Bongos.
The bongos.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. With you, why?
Why the
Why
bongos?
yes, why that?
Well, as a kid, my mom was always into like African drumming.
Yes.
So she got me a djembe drum.
Yeah.
And from then, I was just beating around, and I got with these drum circle groups growing up. And then I went towards Latin percussion, and bongos just stood out to me.
Wow.
So, and that's what led me there. And trombone, I just wanted to be different, really. Everyone in my family played like trumpet or clarinet or guitar and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to play trombone. So I figured that'd be like a tough instrument too.
Wow.
So I went into trombone, and I love it. I love them both.
Why the music business? How did you get there?
Well, all of my life I've been into music. Musical theater coming up in school. I did tap dance and Broadway theater, also in church as well. And I knew that I wanted to be on stage. I knew I wanted to do music some kind of way.
Wow.
And so I just went into cover music, and then again started writing original music as well. So Broadway theater was what really got me here.
Broadway. Wow, Miss Theresa Grayson. Tell me, how did you get in the music business, and why the saxophone?
Okay, so it started really, really early for me and my sister. So we started with piano, and then in elementary school, we were allowed to choose an instrument of choice, and I went to a fine arts elementary school. So I started on the clarinet first, then bass clarinet.
Yeah.
Then I saw that golden thing, that golden thing.
Yes.
And it was at saxophone. It was actually an alto, but she put me on the tenor. So it just started there. And I knew that I wanted to play that instrument. I knew that that was my choice. I knew it chose me. And I've been with it ever since, all through grade school, all through college and beyond.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That is so good. The saxophone is Miss Gina Payne,
Yes.
the violin.
Absolutely. Yes.
Why that instrument, and how did you get in the music business?
Well, as the other two ladies have stated, for me it started very young as well. And with me, it was about finding where I fit socially. And one day I heard this man playing violin, Jean-Luc Ponty. And I said, you know what? I think I want to try that. And when I did, automatically it became a part of me. And I started fitting in. I started fitting in with a group of other young musicians that were playing violin. And it just stayed. I stayed, and it became a home for me. And I just kept developing the gift on through elementary school, middle school, in 5 orchestras by the time I was in high school. Yes. So for me, it was not only the development of the gift of playing violin, but that's where my friends are. I'm staying. So then I got into I got a scholarship to go to Norfolk State University for public school music, and I went for it. And I stayed in college and became a teacher in the public school system. So here I am.
Wow.
So it's really been a wonderful journey with me in violin.
I'm glad you mentioned that as an educator.
Thank you.
Just going into being education. Did you, what reason was that? Why so? Why that career?
Well, because I have a passion for youth.
Yeah.
I have a passion for the development of youth. And like I said, when I was little, I had an issue finding where I fit.
Yeah.
So teaching music gives students that opportunity to develop a gift that not only separates them and makes them different, but it also affords them an opportunity to find an area where they can actually be their own individual self,
Wow.
not feel any insecurities, be confident about who they are. And so not them having to go to other people to gravitate, but having other people gravitate to you now because you are different.
Yeah.
So education is that avenue that I've used in order to assist students with finding that lane.
Miss Theresa Grayson, educator also.
That's right.
Why so?
Well, it actually started in church, and someone had prophesied to me and said, you know what, you would be a great youth leader. And I had no intentions because my career was in fashion and in music, so
Yes.
teaching wasn't that. So I began working there, and it just blossomed.
Wow.
And it was amazing, and I didn't know that I had that. I had that little touch, that extra touch. It takes something, Gina, it takes something very special to have the desire to be in the classroom, to teach, and not only teach, to counsel, to mentor, to be that mom, to be
Yes.
to be everything
Yes.
to that child or children. And I started I actually changed my career in 2000, 2001. Went into a certification program, earned the certificates and everything I needed to have, and I made that change. That's it. It was teaching. And then my first teaching position was orchestra. Who would have thought?
Wow.
Orchestra. That's right, middle school orchestra. And then now I'm teaching elementary, pre-K through fifth.
Pre-K through fifth.
Ooh, yes.
This your heart? No.
Right. Wow. Wow. Miss Jonesy. What? Okay, for you, going into a career.
Right.
Music. Straight music.
Well, with music, I started, my dad had a Christian band coming up, and I was the lead singer. I would say, I'm Michael Jackson, I grabbed the microphone and sing. So like I said, musical theater has been my thing. I wanted to be on Broadway, and so I got accepted to the School of Arts in AMDA in New York.
Right.
And for odd reasons, I didn't go, so I wanted to create that back home in Alabama. And I work with kids after school program, mostly teaching tap dance and hip hop dance. Those are my gifts to children there, and I love working with kids.
Really?
And so, but with music, I wanted to create a positive music so kids could hear and see musicians that are geared towards positive music, not just music demeaning our people or sexual content, things like that. So I praise myself for having I call it LIP music, live in peace. You speak it from the lips. You think positive thoughts from your thoughts, and you speak them into existence. And I push that through my music. I don't use curse words in my music, and I mostly focus on making music for children, well, for the youth, for young adults as well.
For the youth. Coming from Alabama. We spoke about that.
Sweet home.
Oh, sweet home. Sweet home, Alabama, and then going to San Diego.
Right.
How did that happen?
It's just when you have that divine guidance.
Yes.
I just follow and trust the process. So even with meeting the ladies here today, it's just been my journey. I've been allowing the process to happen for me, just been making sure that I cross my T's, dot my I's, and make sure I'm there. But San Diego, soon as I went to San Diego, there was the pandemic. So I haven't done music like I like to in San Diego, but I will be working with some kids doing the tap dance and hip hop program starting up in June in San Diego.
I'm so glad you brought up the pandemic.
Yeah.
The end of February, right? The beginning of March. The world just shut down last year. It was crazy.
It was.
It really
2020 doesn't seem like it even existed. Right? Something happened. There was a shift automatically. You closed down everything. From the clubs to church. Right? It should have.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, it did.
And when you think about that, just the world shutting down, people getting sick, we not know what it is. People are going into the hospital. We can't go with them. As a culture, we go with our family. We come as we call it everybody. We're in. Look, we stay overnight.
Yes.
It's not that we leave our family, after visitors' hours. No, we need a bed. We're gonna stay with them. Because during the night we don't know who's taking care of them, what they're doing to them, things like that. And looking at that, I want each of you just a little bit, just a tidbit of what did that do for you? Starting with Miss Jonesy, what was 2020 for you?
It was, like you said, an eye-opener
Yes.
experience. No one was prepared for it.
Nobody.
You know, we had our vision boards, 2020, I'm going to have this going,
yeah.
and boom, it shuts down. But I look at it as 2020 vision.
Yes.
It's showing us what's essential to us. A lot of negative has happened, but also come together as people to realize, hey, the fast-paced living that we've been pushing for our entire life, the American dream, is not the main thing that matters. What matters is family. What matters is that we are together, and that the things that matter to us, that we're there and loving each other. You know, so I think that was an eye opener for everyone. You know, because we was just going on our own little rat race, and it's all about me. Our egos high in the sky, but then didn't really take time to, put in work with the people who we love and the things that we really love, so. But I went through a stage during the 2020 pandemic where I felt a little depressed. I'm like, what's next for me?
Absolutely.
What if music never happens again,
Right.
So I had to get grounded and balance myself to, meditate more, just to find a center place where I could feel that I feel good about life,
Absolutely.
and what's next. And that's why I mentioned trust in the process and not letting myself be in fear listening to the media. I want to make sure that I keep my frequency high, vibrating high, spreading the love, speaking about it at all times. I know that that's what the planet needs.
Right. Absolutely.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what I took from it. That's what I'm taking from it. Yeah.
Miss Theresa.
Yeah, I think for me, it was like restructure.
Yeah.
She was saying, your Jonesy was saying that she got depressed, but I bounced back from that. I enjoyed actually that quiet time, that time being at home, that time being with family. For me, I just think COVID just came about, this pandemic came up, and it shifted a lot of things, some good, some bad, and it just allowed us to separate, get back into our corners, and regroup, and revisit some things that's, like she said, that's really important to us. For me, for music, no, I kept it going.
Yes.
Because I was doing virtual concerts, and it was the feedback from it.
Right.
Wow, we really need this because we're sitting at home, we're not doing anything. Friday, Saturday, Thursday,
Nothing.
Sunday, nothing. I did it because I wanted to. Some did it because, okay, we need to earn a few dollars, and because people were actually literally suffering.
They were suffering. They were. Yeah.
Suffering. Because those grants and those opportunities for that were not coming that quickly.
Right.
Not at that time. I was doing it because I loved it, and I was in a good place.
Yes.
I was in a good place and I was okay.
Yeah.
So I was actually helping others. If the venue owner said, "Hey, we want to do something, we're going to have a concert out in the parking lot."
Yes.
I'll do it. Let's raise the money and let me share it with them. I don't need it. So for me, it just brought about shaving, carving, connecting spiritually, and just refining and retuning and restructuring, just like just reconnecting. For me, that's what it did for me.
You did a lot of things. I saw a lot of things that you did. Anniversaries. She did a lot of virtual anniversaries, virtual parties. I saw you do virtual parties, where people would call her and she would do, she would be on the screen and they would be at home together, as a group.
Yes.
And they would be so excited.
Yeah.
Because it was a virtual concert.
Everything was online. I mean, like, it was just virtual that way. So it was the galas, it was concerts, it was the anniversaries. The organizations that would normally have something, face to face and a big, it went online.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything went online. Miss Gina Payne, what did you see? What did you feel?
Well, for me, with the pandemic,
Yes.
that became an epidemic and
Yes.
still is ongoing, it brought to me how God says that His strength is made perfect in our weakness. And in our weakness during that time, I believe it was God's way of us turning completely to Him.
Yes.
He made it so that we could not do anything but focus on relationship. We had to focus on relationship with our children. We had to focus on relationship with our spouses. And I believe God really opened the door for that during this pandemic. There were things going awry in our government. There were things going awry with our law enforcement. So I think with the pandemic, it was a way of God focusing on making us focus more on our relationship, just shutting everything down so that his strength could be made perfect. Our weakness was what it was, and we are fleshly beings.
Yeah.
And so the pandemic weakened our flesh, but I think those of us who have had the relationship with God all along, those of us who have stuck close to him, we're still able to reap those benefits because, like Theresa said, I didn't suffer. My check still came in the mail every month. My family was taken care of. I was okay. But what about those that did not have the relationship? What about those that now need the protection of God that did not have it, and now they're searching for it? They're gonna look harder.
Yeah.
They're gonna look hard, and I think that's what the pandemic really brought forth to me, that relationship with God and the ongoing, because you never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
You don't know what's coming. So I think that really brought that light.
I love that.
Thank
I
you.
love
Thank
all
you.
three, what you've said.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
for
you.
me, it was like, when it shut down, it came to me immediately. Can you hear me now? God saying, can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
I mean, you traveling all over. You're so busy, Cam. Can you hear me now? You're going from place to place and moving. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Every place is shut down. Everything.
Everything.
It was incredible.
From the church to the
was.
club.
It was.
Just shut down.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It was hard to imagine.
It's hard.
It was hard to
People did
imagine.
not realize, and it not only shut down in the United States, the country.
Yes.
The country was, I mean, the entire world
Yes.
was shut down. So can you hear me now?
Yes.
That's what came to me at that time, in a sense of, now maybe you can pray. Now maybe you can remember. Now when you get up, maybe you can fall on your knees. Maybe you'll, you know what I'm saying? Now, maybe you'll have the time.
Maybe you appreciate.
Maybe you'll
That's right.
appreciate the things that you have.
Yes.
It was so many people that, and we're talking about the business, music business, 10% music, 90% business. Some people had, and we were talking about 6 cars.
Yeah.
You know, you got insurance, you got the car notes, you got a big house note, 10 to 20,000 or whatever it is. Well, if you're making 200 or 300,000 and you're on tour and you're making that on a daily basis, it doesn't bother you. But when the pandemic hit and all of that shut down, you're not in, because of your business side, you didn't do the royalties, you didn't get the credits that you needed, things like that. You don't have any money. Now you're trying to pawn things. Now you're trying to sell things, but you're selling during a pandemic.
Yes,
Yeah,
that part.
that part. You're selling during the
Exactly.
pandemic. So that's what we were talking about. Josie, going back to you, the business side of it. Let's talk to a lot of the new artists and existing artists about the business side as women. What have you encountered in the business side, learned along the way, you know, on the business side? Because many, like I said, 10% music.
Right.
You're creative. You know how to sing. You know how to play the music. But when it comes to the contracts, when it comes to you receiving your credits, maybe you did the writing, maybe you did the publishing or whatever. Many don't get those credits.
True, true. With me, I focus more on the live performances. And for a while, I played with different bands, and they would just pay us. And I played with my band for like 6 years. We never grew like with a raise or anything like that. So I decided to take on and do my own thing, get my own band, where I was in charge of the booking. I was in charge of this, that, and another. So I just wanted to make sure everything was lined in the right direction. As far as like selling CDs and things like that, I haven't stepped into that realm as far as like Theresa and Gina have, with the royalties and having a lawyer to sit down and go over the verbiage, things like that. I've just been focusing on live music, doing shows and concerts, and having my band. So I built the band, Crown Jewels Band, from 2011. And from there, we've just been doing the live shows. But I've been in the business side of just booking and making sure that my guys and girls that's in the group with me have been taken care of. So with this group, I'm learning a lot from the business side. A lot that I'm going to take on moving forward when it comes down to selling CDs or selling online, you know, music as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Let's do this. We'll take a break and we'll be right back on the Cam Hill Show.
awesome.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages. The Cam Hill Show. If you'd like to advertise your business or become a sponsor, contact the Cam Hill Show at gmail.com.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey family, thanks so much for coming back. We were just talking about the business of music. Miss Jonesy, we were just talking to you about it, but Theresa, what do you say about the business side?
Well, I can say a lot about the business side, so I'm gonna try to, make it short.
Yeah.
Most importantly, know your craft, understand your craft,
Right.
understand what your focus is musically first, because to me, when you step out there, what you do and represent, the audience receives it, it needs to be on point.
Right.
You want it on point. The business side is, it takes time. So I would suggest, seeking out people that are in industry that know. Get the help, get the support. It does take a team.
Representation.
It does, yes. Representation, and it does take a team. But I'm going to tell you this, it's important that you get in there in the trenches and know for yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay? You need to know for yourself, and that's something that
And
I
read
did.
your own things.
Read your own-
everything yourself.
Read it yourself.
Understand yourself.
Absolutely.
Go on YouTube or whatever you have to do to try to educate yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. That's the other part. Invest in you and be willing to do that. And it doesn't take a lot. So with the pandemic, things really shifted heavily to virtual, online. So you can literally record an entire album, EPK, or one single from your home.
Right.
It can be done, and you don't have to even see or personally be in the same room. Unless you have that connection, it doesn't take an elaborate studio to
Right.
make an album.
Right.
Okay, all of my albums have been recorded in my closet.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Wow.
In my closet. So, it's just all where you are, where you desire to be, what your goals are, what your vision is. You have to put all those things into check and then start making preparations and start making those things happen. If you don't know, find out.
Right.
Ask questions, research. So the music business is that 2 sides. You have your business and you have your music.
Right.
Music business, you have both sides. And they are equally important. Because you can get up there and play on stage all day, but someone messes over that contract. You walk off stage, what's happening?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Because that contract could have said this, that, and the other, and you are thinking based on what you know and what you think.
Right.
It's what's written on that paper. So that's why I encourage to anyone that's in the music industry, that's seeking to get into the music industry, you need to get in there and find out for yourself. That's a need to know. That's a need to know basis.
Right.
That's one thing that's really important. And then study your craft.
Yes. Yes.
Practice.
Practice.
Shed. You need to know what you need. You need to be able to speak because one thing I find that's important for me is that I connect with my audience. And I do things and I play things that I feel that they would like. I know that I like it. I'm not going to be that artist that's going to be on stage just sitting there and just my eyes closed just playing. No, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to look at you. I'm going to connect with you.
Right.
And that's important to me. So that's the music, that's that performance, that's that entertainment side. Okay? So, you know, those are the things I encourage to anyone that's looking to get into the industry, to get into the music business, and even you starting young. I was practicing, my friends were outside playing street tennis. That's what this, you know, that's what they were playing. You know, I was in my room practicing in front of a mirror because I want to be first chair all the time. You know, so that's what it takes practicing. And our youth, unfortunately, don't think it. You know, we need the practice. You need to practice.
Yeah. Practice.
Practice. So that's what I have to share and advise to.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Some things that you said there was this too. A lot of people think monetary, everything, right? Not experience. And I know many times you all have had to go in, or you have gone in, maybe sat in on a band or sat in with someone, maybe did not get paid for it, but it was the experience with that person.
Right.
It was the experience, you know?
Absolutely.
But we think in our mind monetary. What you gonna pay me?
Exactly.
How much? Oh, okay, I can't do that. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
Miss Gina, jump in.
Well, I agree with what my other two partners have said about the business and your practice and just knowing your craft and, you know, just making sure that you are appeasing who you are contracted to play for. If there's no contract, it didn't happen. And it's not personal. Nothing's personal in business.
You can't just shake hands
No,
anymore.
you cannot. Okay,
Can't write it on a napkin and say yes.
Oh no, It's got. You can't put it on no. You can't do that because that's gonna tear and gonna get wet. You know that. But you have to have a contract that you do understand the verbiage yourself.
Right.
I have my own contract. I make sure both parties have signed it because that's the seal on the agreement.
Right.
Exactly.
Prior to going to the event.
Right.
Don't get there to that event and say, excuse me, but you didn't sign the contract. No, because they don't have to at that point.
Right.
And there you are.
Right.
Okay. And your brand is important. So you don't want to get to an event. Now the contract's not signed. You don't want to play. And they're expecting you to do something. All of that has to be done prior to getting to that engagement. So anybody out there in the music business, especially women, because they look at us and they see inferiority right off the bat. They don't care how well you play. You're a woman. You don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Absolutely not, honey. Okay, so what's on this paper? 2 days ago, you signed it. And now I'm expecting my compensation for that. So don't take it personal. Always have a contract that you understand the verbiage. And if it's not on paper, it never happened. So those are my three points I want to make for women out here in the music business.
Absolutely.
To please follow so that you can be protected. Your brand is you. I'm Gina J. Payne. I don't want anybody to say Gina J. Payne came in here, didn't play for us, well, because you didn't sign the contract. No, that's on me.
Right.
I have to settle that before because I want to keep the relationship with that client. I want them to call me back, especially if they're paying well and the food is good. So I want to make sure that they understand prior to going in that this is our agreement. The relationship is tight now. We can both respect each other.
Right.
And it makes all for a good business relationship, and they're going to talk because, you know, business is mouth to mouth.
Right.
You know.
And I'm glad you're saying that relationship.
Absolutely.
It's about relationship.
Absolutely.
A lot of the business is about relationship, you know? And if you mess the relationships up, you know?
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's
the key. And for ladies, the other thing too is that you know who you are, right?
Absolutely.
You got to know, especially for ladies, know who you are. Every contract may not be for you.
Right.
Right? Because the person on the other side is saying, oh, well, if you don't do this, you don't get this and you don't get that. Well, you don't get it.
Right.
You know, for your protection.
That's right.
Yeah.
For your protection.
Absolutely.
Because it's hard, I'm sure.
It is.
It's for, especially for ladies, you know? That you, and I'm glad you all are speaking because you're able to educate the younger women that want to come out here and do. You don't have to show everything. You don't have to show everything.
No. And you don't have to give everything either.
No, you do not.
I had
Say
to
it
put
for
it out.
all of them in the
I
back
had
row.
to, exactly. You don't have to give it. You do not. You do not.
I agree.
And it's funny that you really mention that because that's something that hit at home for most of us.
Yes.
Is that
I'm sure.
no? Even our agent. I mean,
Yes.
things happen with her. You know.
No
And I'm
means no.
It's no.
It does.
It's no. No. If I work this contract, if I work this agreement with you,
Right.
it doesn't mean, you know, I have to do this or that or
Right.
the other, or this is your low key unannounced expectation.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
Exactly. That's a good one. Yes.
Yeah, because it's expected.
Exactly. Exactly.
No.
Yeah. And young ladies need to know that.
Yes.
They do.
They do. Because many of them are out here by themselves.
Yes.
Okay? They're not being represented.
True.
Family is not being involved. Family sees the check.
That's it.
A lot of families see the check. Well, just do whatever they tell you to do. You're going to be fine.
Stop. See that? I thought that and you said it. See, that's our connection. Okay, but that's how you get caught in those situations, and that's not the only one. There's probably many others
sure it's
that are
several.
on it because there's studios and there's people doing this
It's
everywhere.
the entertainment business.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
entertainment.
And you want it so bad, so you're excited by all the glam.
Right.
Like we walked in here, we're like,
Right.
wow, wow, wow.
Right.
So you know, you
And
feel
you've
like
traveled.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
you've come a long way. They've promised you the big checks. They've promised you all the things, right?
Yes.
But you don't have the representation or protection,
Right.
Right.
you know, from others that may may help you. Let's say it like that. And young women, very young. A lot of them are 18 and 19 and 20 that are coming into the business.
That's right.
You know, they're being seen on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, the social media sites. They're being picked up by that, you know? And then you have others that have been picked up, been attacked, you know, and things like that. And then they still not know what to do because they're so scared or in fear to say something. You know, say it's happening.
That's right. That is so true.
It goes back to knowing your brand, knowing what you want to represent.
Right.
With me coming in, knowing that I want to represent a positive light in music,
Yeah.
I stayed strong and stayed true to that. And no matter what, like if I had to have, like with a sound man or something like that, I ended up being my own sound man. Never thought I'd be into sound
Right.
engineering in my
Right.
life. And I found myself online buying speakers and stuff, creating
Right.
sound for myself and for my band. Things like that you step into, people say, no, you need a sound man. You need a guy to do this and do that. But you can open those doors for yourself and then open up those doors for someone else to hire in someone.
Exactly.
Open job opportunities for
That's
people.
it.
So yeah,
That's
it's
it.
good to know what you want and how you want to represent yourself and stay true to that.
And it's also good to know that you can walk away.
Exactly.
That's called your limitations and your barriers, your standards.
Right.
You have to create that personal
Right.
space. This is it.
Even though you may need the money, even though and many need it, especially during COVID, you know, now that COVID was happening and all of this, and people were not getting their royalties, people were not getting credits, they weren't getting checks, right?
That's true.
But and even before then, people were then saying, okay, I want that check, or I want whatever it is that you're giving me, a car, a place to stay, or whatever it is. Limitations.
Yeah.
That's right.
That it's not real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's true.
And people will just dangle that in front of you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, to say, oh, well, if you don't do this, you won't get all of this over here. You won't get on this show. You won't be able to be with these people. You'll never be a star, celebrity.
Right.
We throw that out there quite a bit.
Yes, we do.
And they not even know that they're already that. You know?
That's right.
Because you're already creative. You're creative.
Yeah,
And people will pay for your creativity.
True.
right. We get to maintain our integrity.
Right.
We
Yeah.
get to
And
maintain our respect for
Yes.
ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it's how you feel about you when you close that door. You
and
go-
You only have your name.
That's it.
And I'm glad you said a brand. Each of us are walking billboards. We're our own brand. And I love that each of you have your own brand and that you have that integrity to say, this is the list that I have. This is who I am. And then you all collaborated together. Let's talk about that.
Triple
The
threat.
unity.
Yeah.
Triple threat.
Because you all are a triple threat.
That's right. That's right.
Let's get started. Gina, you want to start? Theresa?
It doesn't matter.
Well, triple threat is a wonder
Yes.
created by another wonder by the name of Veronica McCreary, Sophisticated Ladies Productions. Yay! That lady gets something going. It's going to be a storm.
Yeah.
It's going to be a storm, and it's a wonderful ending to the storm.
Right.
The sun shines brightly because we've all come together. We came together in February, did a show for Valentine's Day at the Warehouse in Houston, and I mean it was amazing. It really was, and the collaboration of musicians and all of us coming together. Theresa, Jonesy, and myself, it's really been an out of the box experience.
Yeah.
It really has, and I think that because of us being women in music, it's not common that you can get 3 women together and we all get along.
Right.
That's
Right,
number
right.
one. But we're like a little family, and we keep in contact with each other, and the communication is great, and the relationship is good. So triple threat is that wonderful combination of musicianship and camaraderie that you don't commonly find with women.
Yeah.
And it's been created, and it's continuing to be a huge success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Theresa.
Well, see,
being part of it.
right. So for triple threat, let's talk about the music. I find that each of us have something amazing when it comes down to the music.
Yes.
I've watched, prior to us getting together, we were searching and looking and checking things out and everything, and I enjoyed looking at all of our individual shows.
Right.
And I'm like, the one thing I felt that we connect was the music. The music was something amazing. And we play and perform things that people love, that can relate to.
Right.
And you don't find that too much because sometimes musicians find an area or a little niche, their own little niche, and they're just with just that. I'm going to play swing, or I'm going to play this style of music. I'm going to only play that. But I think we play a variety of music where we can reach out and touch and grab and relate and have that and have that community with our audience. So that's one thing I really love about our show, and we're just energetic. Period. There's a lot of energy on stage. It's like, okay, well, I tell you what, whoever's going to be accompanying us, they have to be just as
They got to be energetic.
They be ready.
Bring it.
Yeah.
Because we're already there, and we're okay. Are you ready? Let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
So for me, for triple threat, I think it's just the music is just amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
she had the one part. I got the middle part. I said, so
Yes. What do you think?
What I love about it is the showcase.
Yes.
We can showcase each, Gina, Theresa, we showcase our talent without ego.
Right.
I love that because
Right.
I've watched, girl groups back in the day when Unsung, you see how they broke up, and just ego can get in the way. All of us as individual artists, and we put that about each other.
Right.
So it's no competition, it's a showcase. And I love that, and it shows to younger women that, hey, this can be done. I don't have to dumb down to make you up here. We're equal. We can do this together. We all have a great gift. It's enough for everyone. It's enough shine for everyone. And we showcase each other, and I love that about our group.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I love that about all 3 of you. You all really collaborate and unite together, and we need more of that. That's needed.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That really is needed. That really is needed. Because each of you has your own individuality, but I just love that. Let's do this. Take a break, and we'll be right back.
Right on.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages. The Cam Hill Show. If you'd like to advertise your business or become a sponsor, contact the Cam Hill Show at gmail.com.
Move up. At Ron Carter Cadillac, drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. RonCarterCadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, we are back with Triple Threat. We're sitting here and we're talking about upcoming events, music that's out that you have. Miss Gina, starting with you, tell us about some new music you've got out.
Well, I have a CD that is out. It can be found on iTunes. It's called 8-Track Music. Yes, and the reason I call it 8-Track Music is because it's old school songs that we were all probably conceived to and we don't know it. And it's just a wonderful combination of songs and melodies that we were all used to listen to from the 70s, 80s, and some 90s. So 8-Track Music is my new project.
Yeah.
It can be found on iTunes Music. Also, if you want to inbox me on Facebook, I'm also on Facebook, Gina J. Payne. If you would like a copy of the CD, just inbox me on Facebook.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Miss Theresa, Grayson.
All right. So the latest album is called Mystical.
Yes.
So I'm so proud of her because she came out during the pandemic. Hey, things it was a push. So yeah, we made it happen. So I'm very proud of that album. So you can find Mystical along with Live to Love, along with World Blue, along with
Love it.
My Favorite Things,
project.
and It's All About You. I'm happy.
Yes.
That's one thing I can encourage my
That's right.
listeners and
There
our
you go.
viewers.
That's
Like,
what-
you can still do
can
this.
still do this.
Please do it. Get the music
do
out
it.
there. So you can find it on iTunes. You can find it on CD Baby, any music online outlet.
Yes.
Okay, you can find music. You can go to www.theresagrayson.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that. Okay, I don't know how much snapping I'm gonna do, but anyway. Okay, I'm silly. Okay,
it's good.
But yes, I'm excited about Mystical, and I will be performing some pieces from Mystical this weekend. I'm so really excited. So thank you for the opportunity, Ken. Really
Why
appreciate it.
Mystical? Why that name?
Ooh, it can't, well, it's funny because we really searched for a name for this album, and I called it Mystical because one of the things, it came out during the roughest time of our country.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm having a photo shoot. I'm doing everything to get this thing done, and I'm like, wow, it was a mystical.
Yeah.
It really was a mystical journey. But it's amazing, and I just came up with that. I wanted to be like this mystical look, and all. And that's what it looks like in the cover. So yeah, mystical.
Yeah.
Yo, Jonesy.
Well, I have a variety of music.
Yes.
My latest album is called No Fear. It's an EP with my guitarist Tucker McKee. Titled No Fear. I wrote this album during the pandemic.
Did you?
And the message is to have no fear, to keep the love frequency vibrating high. You find that album on all music outlets, platforms, YouTube, Jonesy Jones Music on YouTube. I also have a hip-hop inspired album called Jonesy Juice. It's also on YouTube, iTunes, any platform, and also a live recorded album called Jonesy 316 with Crown Jewels Band is also found on those platforms. Jonesy Jones Music on YouTube, Jonesy_Jones Music on Instagram and Facebook.
Sounds good. Let's do this. We're closing out a little bit. We will be talking to each one of the viewers, starting with you, Miss Jonesy. Look into the camera and talk to them and let last words.
Last words from me. Live in peace. Speak it. Lip, that spells L-I-P. Speak it with your mouth. Think it. Think positive thoughts. If you're feeling low, it's up to you to raise your vibration. You don't have to wait on someone else to lift your spirit. That's your job. Lift your spirit. Live in peace. Keep that with you as an individual thing. Always stay grounded. Stay balanced. Keep the love frequency high. Hug each other because you charge your heart chakras when you hug. Life is good.
Sounds good, Miss Theresa.
Okay, well, that was a whole mouthful. That was amazing. Wow. So what do I say after that? Okay, live to love. Okay, let's live to love, everybody. Love you guys.
Right on.
That's
Miss
right.
Gina Payne, look into the camera and tell people last word. You can take your time.
Okay.
We got time.
Last words. There's two ways to live, by law or by grace. When you live by law, you're working for God. When you live by grace, God is working for you. So out of that work that you do for him, just relax after that. Let the grace take over and give you those out-of-the-box blessings that are coming your way. Triple Threat is one of those out-of-the-box blessings that came my way. I was working for God. All of a sudden now on Facebook, I'm being solicited by Veronica McCreary to join this wonderful group that is affording me opportunities outside of my state. So you can live by law or live by grace. And I would suggest living by grace. And also, in a nutshell, in all of what you do, love God and love people. That's the ground zero.
Love it, love it, love it. They have an upcoming event, two of them. On tomorrow, you'll be in Dallas, right?
That's right.
The Warehouse, I understand.
Warehouse.
And that will be on tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, Warehouse on Berry, yes.
There you go. And then on Sunday, Memorial Day. All white party.
All white.
Come on.
An all white party. We understand it's at Bees Wine Bar, Missouri City, sold out.
Sorry.
No tickets.
Yeah, you can't.
None.
That's right.
Just can't even, no tickets.
Ain't no tickets.
That's a party. That's a party. Yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Triple Threat. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Houston. Thank you to all of everybody listening. The Cam Hill Show, 12:30 to 1:30 Central Time. See you then. Bye.